Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Unspoken Chats. Today I'm here with someone really important, my high school best friend, Penelope.
Hello.
I feel like we're going to laugh a lot in this episode.
Probably.
Penelope has experienced something similar to me, and she's here to share her story. So it's going to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're going to cry. There's tissues there.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you want to talk about your story.
Yes. So I'll give a bit of a background first.
Yeah.
So I have a son. His name is Anthony.
And he's so cute.
He's 17 months at the moment. My journey getting pregnant with Anthony was very difficult. We couldn't fall pregnant naturally. So we saw a fertility specialist and I was trying for about 2 years all up, including with a fertility specialist and then before. And then finally got pregnant with Anthony, which was amazing. And then the pregnancy itself was quite difficult. I got diagnosed at 20 weeks with placenta previa. So essentially I was on bed rest from 20 weeks on.
That's when your placenta's low, right?
Yeah. So there's a risk of, there's bleeding for one. So I had constant bleeding during the pregnancy, especially when I walked or.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I didn't know you had bleeding.
Yeah, I had bleeding. That was kind of a sign that I had placenta previa. And then they just told me.
When did the bleeding start?
It started before 20 weeks. I can't remember exactly when.
Yeah. But after you know how they say after 3 months, like you're all in the clear?
Yes. So after that time. And then, they told me to essentially no exercise. Don't even walk much. So I stopped working in the office. I started working from home. I couldn't even walk around the park. I tried a few times and then I'd have a bleeding episode. I'd have to go into hospital. Once I started bleeding, they'd have to monitor the baby. There's a lot of risks with preterm labour associated with placenta previa, and there is also a risk of stillbirth with placenta previa. There's higher chances of,
I didn't. This is like all new to me.
Yeah.
I just thought it was low hanging and they tend to do C-sections.
Yeah, so
I didn't know about anything else.
You're right with the C-section. So you have to do a C-section. So I had to do a C-section. Thankfully, all went well. So we got Anthony. He was delivered at 37 weeks on the day.
Yeah.
And he's the most amazing boy and the best part of my life. So
he's literally so cute. He looks like you, that photo you shared. You eating the corn.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like me. And he looks a bit like his dad. A little bit. But I love when people say he looks like me. So that was Anthony. And then we weren't trying and we fell pregnant naturally 5 months after Anthony with Stamatia.
I love her name.
Yes, it's a Greek name. It's actually my mum's Greek name. So that's who she was named after. So we fell pregnant naturally and it was a surprise to us because we thought that we'd have to be on all these medications and have to see the specialist to fall pregnant just like we were with Anthony. So it was an amazing surprise. The pregnancy itself was good.
Yeah.
I had no placenta previa. Everything was normal. It wasn't considered high risk. I'd go to my appointments and the doctor would be like, you're all good. The baby's really good. There's no high risk.
It's all like ticking the boxes.
Yeah. So she was ticking the boxes. She was perfect size, everything.
You were still being able to be active?
I was active.
Picking up Anthony.
Yeah. I was doing things I couldn't do when I was pregnant with Anthony. Yeah. So everything was
a very different experience.
It was going perfect. I just still remember the doctor saying everything's perfect. And then I was 27 weeks and things were still good. And then I went for a massage. I remember I was about 27 and a half weeks and I went for a massage. And I just remember thinking while I was getting a massage, I was like, oh, she's really active right now. Like I just remember lying down and the lady was, I was getting a massage and I just remember thinking, wow, she's like kicking a lot. Like, and I was like, oh, it must be because of the massage. I just didn't think anything of it, but I remember noticing it. And then that night, she was kicking like normal.
Oh, so she was still kicking when you got home?
Yeah, when I got home, she was still kicking. I remember saying, because I was with a friend when we got the massage, I even remember saying to her, I was like, oh, she's like sitting in a certain spot in my stomach. I can feel her. Like it's a bit of an annoying spot because it was when she was putting pressure on my like uterus, so I needed to pee.
I know exactly what position. Like I know what you're talking about. It's weird to explain to someone that's never been pregnant before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
But it's that position, and it's like far out. It's really annoying because like it makes me feel like I need to pee. So I remember that, and then the next day was actually Anthony's christening. So the morning of Anthony's christening, I woke up and I remember thinking I haven't really felt her move much. But I was also really preoccupied with the fact that we had his christening. So there was like family coming over and then we had to go to the church. So I was kind of in a rush.
There was a lot on that day.
There was a lot on that day. So I kind of dismissed it and I was kind of like, oh, Penelope, it's,
And also like how are you actually meant to keep track of every single movement?
No,
like it's impossible, especially when you're busy.
100%.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you're being paranoid. It's all good. She's probably sleeping.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of thinking back at it, I'm like, oh, that was unusual for her because she's active. The times that I, in my head think she's active, those were the times that she was active. So it was off, but I didn't know at the time. So we had his christening and I remember that night while everyone was there, because I was quite visibly showing and everyone was like, oh my God, like, you're looking great and like we're so excited, we can't wait. And
it was a joyful day.
Yeah, it was really good. And I remember a family member like putting her hand on my stomach was like, oh my God. And I remember for some reason I just turned around and was like, I haven't felt her move. I just said that was the night of the christening. And I remember saying that to her. And for some reason, I don't know why I said it to her. And I had said that night to my mum and my sister, I was like, I haven't felt her move.
Yeah.
But then everyone was like,
you'll be all right.
You'll be all right. It's nothing. You're being paranoid.
Yeah.
Like, because no one thinks.
Your mind doesn't go to that.
No. And they thought I was under, a lot of pressure because of the christening.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's nothing. Then I went to sleep that night and I just remember thinking, haven't felt her move. I was trying to push like my stomach.
Yeah, I know.
You know that feeling like you're like, come on, I know these movements that I do, like these when I push you here, you move. And
it's
I'm
like Ange, whenever he used to do this weird thing with his hands on my
Yeah.
tummy,
You
Leon
just
would
knew.
go crazy.
Yeah, you just
And
knew.
you know your baby.
You know your baby.
Yeah.
You just knew. And it was like 3 a.m. and I'm like, she hasn't moved. Like she's not moving. And then I was
So
like,
you were awake at 3 a.m.
yeah,
thinking this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was awake at 3 a.m. thinking this. I'm like, she normally moves at this time.
Yeah.
And then in my head again, I was like, you're being paranoid. You're overthinking this. Like, because I had a difficult pregnancy with Anthony.
Yeah.
I was like, stop being paranoid. This pregnancy is not like that. You're fine. Like everything
Especially
is fine.
because like you're leading up, all your appointments were like, she's perfect.
Yeah. And I had that in my head as well. I was like, you're just being paranoid because of what you went through with Anthony and placenta previa. And then that morning when we woke up, I said to my partner, I was like, she hasn't moved. And he goes, okay, let's go to the hospital. And so we went to, not the hospital, but we went to my gyno, the rooms. And I remember the receptionist, she said, not a problem, we'll get you in. And then once we got there, she had said to the other lady who was probably going to see the nurse after me, she's like, this lady won't be long. She'll be in and out, like it's just a checkup. So they just thought like it's all going to be good. You're just going to check. Just checking up. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that do just checkups all the time. It's normal. Monitoring. And I just thought I honestly thought it was fine. I was going to go in there, get a checkup. I'll be reassured.
You're going to hear her heartbeat.
I'm going to hear her heartbeat. It's all good. This is all in my head kind of thing. And then I just I'll never forget it. But at the same time, the whole time was a blur. But we went in. And the nurse did an ultrasound and she's just like, she was trying for a bit. And then she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Thanks. Oh, God, this part was hard.
It's the worst.
Yeah. We can't see, I can't feel a heartbeat. And then when she said that, I was like, oh my God, like I broke down. And then she goes, Penelope, it's okay. I'm just going to get your gyno in here to
like,
confirm. Like sometimes, you know, I can't, you know, I can't find it and it happens. When she said that, I just knew. I just was like, yeah, this doesn't happen. I was like, no. So there's no heartbeat. And then he came in, he did a 2-second check and he confirmed it. He's like, I'm so sorry, Penelope, there's no heartbeat. And then I was just, my partner broke down. I broke down. We had Anthony in the room at the time, and they were really good. They took him off us because they knew we just.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just like.
I'm glad they gave you that time.
Yeah, they gave us that time. They took Anthony. They were looking after him, which was really good.
And just distracting him.
Yeah, they were distracting him. I mean, I wouldn't want him to see me like that or my partner like that. So it was a good thing that they distracted him. But yeah, that was the worst day of my life. Yeah. And then from then onwards, it was kind of a blur. I don't remember.
I said this exact same thing to Ange. It's just a blur. At the moment your world stops, whatever. Yeah. You're numb.
Yeah. I don't remember much about after that exact moment. I don't remember how I even got home.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
Do you remember the conversations
with the doctor about what the next steps are. I won't forget that because I was a bit. So I thought in my head while this was going on, I was like, oh, so you're going to get her out straight away. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, you know, well, the next day technically was a public holiday actually. So it was the Collingwood Essendon Anzac Day. It was the Anzac Day. So there was no like getting her out kind of thing the next day because it's a public holiday.
Can I just say?
Yeah. Coincidences?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both had public holidays.
Yeah.
And we both were sent home.
Yeah. Yeah. To sit with. Yeah.
It is so crazy to me. Like, I wouldn't have thought that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely it was.
You wouldn't ever think. You would think, okay, if that does happen, they put you into emergency surgery.
And take the baby out.
Take the baby out. Because what happens if the toxins go to you?
And I thought of that as well. I'm like, oh, I thought you couldn't keep a baby that's, you know, now passed inside of you because it's dangerous for you. I was baffled. But my gyno actually said to me, he was just like, oh, you know, we recommend you like take a couple of days and think about your next steps, like, you know, what you want to do, and we can schedule in the C-section for the Monday. So this was the Thursday, I think, and the Anzac Day game was the Friday, or am I getting my days mixed up?
That sounds right though.
I think it's that.
That sounds right to
me. So, and then we had the weekend.
Yeah.
And then the C-section was on the Monday. Yeah. So I essentially went home knowing my baby was no longer alive and I was, you know, pregnant still.
And you have to tell family.
And I had to tell family and walk around, you know, being pregnant still, even though
and feeling her in that position.
And feeling her, and I felt her in the same position, and I just remember exactly that position. Like I'll never forget her position, if that makes sense.
No, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was that, and she was
Were those days when you got home and then to the C-section, was that a blur? Or
I
do
don't
you remember it?
I only remember going to my mum's house and watching the game with my family to try and distract me. Yeah. And that's something that like we're mad Collingwood supporters, like my whole family
is. Well, apparently I'm one now too, so you would be very happy.
I'm so proud of you. I'm actually so proud of you. Going from Carlton to Collingwood is a really big move. I'm so proud of you.
You can thank Leon for that one.
I'm thanking Leon. I am thanking Leon for that one. So I thought that would be a good distraction just to be around.
Because like you also have Anthony as well.
I had Anthony to think of. So I thought, you know, this is a good day to kind of
No one knows what to do though.
No.
There's
you're kind
right
of just
and wrong.
No, there is. You're just in like you just go along with whatever.
You're just breathing.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Really. Yeah. You just so that's what I remember. I remember watching that game, feeling weird while watching that game.
Yeah, of course.
I just felt odd.
Like you know what you know everything.
Yeah. And I was nonstop crying those days. I know I was nonstop crying those days. And then and then the C-section happened.
Were you awake for the C-section?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have never not been awake.
Okay.
I just have the spinal block crossed with
Epidural?
That's what
Okay.
I've had, and I'm just numb.
Wow.
And but
I didn't know you were awake.
Yeah, I was awake. It's
Okay.
less risky from what I've heard,
Oh, to be awake.
to be awake than
Oh, okay.
because it's so if you put to sleep, technically it's a bit more, and then
Oh, it's more scary for the mum?
yeah, well, because I mean that from what I've heard, it's they recommend that you're not asleep unless you
okay.
need to be.
Yeah.
So I was awake.
Was your husband able to be in the room with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
they were actually really, really good. They asked us like if I wanted anyone else to be in the room as well,
Oh,
like my mum or
wow.
anything, but I kind of just wanted it to be
Yeah.
like me and my husband, and
I agree.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
such an intimate thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, there's very limited things that you two can do
Together.
for Stamatia.
Yeah.
And like, you want to honor that.
Yeah. And I wanted it to kind of, as weird as this sounds, to be like how I gave birth to Anthony. So I
of
wanted
course.
to be the same. And they were really good. They let us like choose what, music we wanted. So while I was having the C-section, they were like, choose a song,
I
choose
didn't know that.
genre. And they were really good. They were just like, choose whatever you want to be playing. And I just had no idea at that moment. And I love my music. But
Yeah,
I was
know you. You're a massive music head.
Yeah, I do. And in that moment, I was kind of like, you guys
They
choose.
can't put levels music
No,
on.
and I didn't want anything like upbeat. I said to them, I just don't. And they gave me some options. They were like, "Oh, do you want like country music?" And I was like, "Yeah, nah, I don't want that." And then they were like, "So what are you wanting?" And I'm like, "Maybe like music. I don't know, like that you hear in an elevator, like that kind
like
of
calming.
yeah,
You're like,
that kind of just
yeah.
plain like." And so that's what they played. And then
So no lyrics.
no lyrics. No, it was just that kind of elevator
Calming
music.
one. Yeah.
And then I had the C-section, and then as soon as like he had pulled her out, he told us, he said, "Oh, I can see what's happened."
Wow.
Because we didn't know before what had gone wrong.
You know how massive that is?
Yeah.
To actually know what has happened?
Yeah. I mean, I
Like,
can't
that's-
imagine like how stressful and like not knowing.
Yeah.
Because you just want to know.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, so we got that at least.
That's really good.
He wanted to obviously triple check, but what he said was he saw the umbilical cord had a twist, a knot essentially. So it wasn't around her neck, which is more common.
Yeah.
But it was twisted. So he said it would have been instant.
Which is it. I know this sounds weird, but as a mum,
Yeah.
it's comforting to know she didn't go through any pain.
I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'd rather.
Because my whole thing is, did he suffer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You obviously don't want them to
Yeah,
suffer.
No,
so
not at all.
when he said it would have been instant, I was like, okay.
Like it gives a bit more peace.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
she didn't suffer.
No.
Yeah. And there was literally nothing you could have done.
No.
This is
this
literally-
was I mean, in my head at the time I was like,
Of course.
it's because I went for a massage. It's because I drank a bit of caffeine. It's because
Yeah, but that's just mum guilt.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it's nothing you did anything.
Like there's literally nothing.
There's nothing. This was a freak accident.
Yeah.
Just
It's
out
just
of your
God.
control.
Literally God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally God. So yeah, we just knew then and there it was that. And he said, obviously, we want to triple confirm that,
Yeah.
do an autopsy.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we had the option of doing like a half autopsy or a full one.
okay.
I don't know if you got that.
They did.
Yeah.
But we didn't want anyone to cut him open.
Okay. Yeah.
We were like, no autopsy.
Oh, okay.
And they kept asking us.
Yeah.
And we were like, we've told you 3 times. Like, can you
We don't
stop
want this.
asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Did you do it?
I did it.
Okay. Yeah.
I did it. I was unsettled by the thought of it. But he recommended we did it to make sure that it wasn't anything underlying that could affect our future
Okay.
pregnancies.
Yeah. See, they said that to us too.
They did, yeah.
But when I was like really grilling them. I'm like, what is the difference between you doing all the tests on my umbilical cord and placenta
Yeah.
versus the autopsy on Leon?
See, I didn't ask questions. Yeah.
It's just
You just, yeah.
you don't know
No.
in that situation. But I was like, when they even mentioned autopsy, I became erratic. Like
Yeah.
I became angry.
You don't even, yeah.
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 And everyone just deals differently.
Yeah, 100%.
But they said to me, we can see if there was anything wrong with his heart and the chambers, because all we know is his heart stopped.
Okay.
And they were like, we can also see if we do the autopsy, we can confirm if it was the cholestasis or not.
Yeah.
And I said, can you confirm that with the placenta?
Yeah.
And they said, we can't confirm it, but we will get a better understanding.
Oh, okay.
We will have an understanding with the placenta, but we can have a better understanding if we do it on him.
Okay, right.
And I said, I'm okay with just having an understanding.
Yeah.
Just leave him.
Okay.
Yeah. So for our situation, but the thing is, he was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck.
Yeah.
So me and Ange, in our gut,
That's what you thought it was.
we really think he passed from the umbilical cord.
And I knew based off what my gyno said as soon as she came out that it was that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because of the problems we had getting pregnant with Anthony, I was like, you know what? Just I just want to make sure because we knew we wanted another baby.
Yeah.
And so we just did it. I was though like really unsettled by the thought of it, and I tried.
But you know what? I think that they would do it with such care.
Yeah.
Like I really, because even when Stamatia was born, even when the midwives touched the baby,
it was such.
They're so caring.
Yeah, so gentle. I almost was like, am I going to be that gentle? Like, like I
'Cause they
trusted the
give so
midwives
much-
so much. I was like, oh, they know what they're doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No,
you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
So it's like when they would do the autopsy, I'm sure they were doing the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think any human would, like, it'd be so hard for them to do it.
Yeah, it would be. It would
like
be really
even though they
difficult.
work in the medical field, they've still got a heart.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. I couldn't imagine, and my hat's off to them for
Everyone
the job
in the
that they do.
healthcare sector, thank you.
Yeah, we got like wow, like 100%. But yeah, so that's what happened, and then that was the reason we got the results back, and that was the reason. It was the umbilical cord knot.
100% new.
Yeah.
And you were telling me it's the same statistics of this happening, like the umbilical cord knotting,
Yeah.
as getting hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just think like, why you? Like, like
it's very easy to go down that path.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
the what ifs.
And the what ifs. Oh,
The what ifs.
Kill me. They kill me.
Yeah. I agree. I think as a mum, because you feel more responsible because they're inside you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yep, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
And like we're really lucky. We've got really, really good partners.
Yeah.
And they're supportive and they remind us it's not us.
Yeah.
Like as soon as our mind goes down the what if paths,
Yeah, yeah.
they can quickly snap us out of it.
And he did. Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful. Yeah. It's
No one really I feel like when you're healing for after giving birth, and then obviously your child's passed away, the planning of the burial is like the hardest and the most you don't even want a bar of it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of when they gave me the papers and yeah, how did you feel?
Angry.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
Like I knew I know
you knew what you had to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, well,
it's kind of like they're rushing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in the sense of rushing you to process.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then when she told me you have to register his birth
and
his death certificate.
Oh, that I was like, and you're gonna get it in the mail.
Well, I got an email yesterday. Saying congratulations, Leon's birth certificate has been registered.
Oh, they said, oh wow.
Yeah.
I see. I don't remember checking my emails, but then again,
No,
it's
I
a
got
bit of a blur.
Yeah, I got a notification yesterday and I looked at it and I was like, in a weird way, it's like nice because no one can ever take away that he was born.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No,
I don't want people to forget him.
No.
And I feel like as time goes on, people kind of just see me and they like, it wasn't a massive part of their life.
Yeah.
So they don't, If someone sees me on the street, they don't know that I'm a mum.
No. Yeah, I know.
I've got nothing to show for it. Do you know what I mean?
You do.
Yeah.
You are a mum.
I've got the body, unfortunately.
No, it's not that. You're a mum. You are a mum.
Yeah.
But and then again, someone in the street won't know if you're suffering from this or that.
Yeah.
So you've got to think of it that way as well.
But like that birth, when you have to do the paperwork,
was
you're
really
like,
hard.
are you serious, man?
I had
The Centrelink is, I haven't even done it.
Oh, the Centrelink, yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah.
But I kind of focused on that a bit.
To distract yourself?
Yeah, to distract myself. I kind of was like, with the paperwork, especially with the Centrelink, because I'm in HR as well, I kind of was like, I know what I'm entitled to. I know what,
But that's the thing. I feel like when you're grieving or when you're going through something traumatic, you kind of fixate on different things.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Like for us, this is healing for us, the podcast.
The podcast, yeah.
And like we're fixating on it. Not fixating, but like we're putting a lot of our energy into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas you find where you can, your strengths are, and you're just like, I need to do something.
Yeah. And that's good because it's, helping you get through it, and it's a coping mechanism, and whatever you need to do, you
feel comfortable in that space. Like HR is like your specialty.
Yeah. So I kind of was like, I'm just going to
do everything.
The paperwork, Centrelink, work, all of that.
Do all of that.
I just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But when it came to the actual funeral side of things, so organising like
the coffin,
talking to the actual funeral director, I kind of left that in the hands of my mum and my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
They were like, we are happy to do it if you want
that's really
to.
Nice.
Yeah. So like I was really grateful for them. They did that part of it, and they just checked with me, and I don't think I actually could have physically done it all on my own, that part.
Well, we literally said to our funeral director, you pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're in you're in a weird place.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is. So we did that, and I chose the spot where she was, and
I like her spot.
Yeah. It's
really sweet.
Our babies are very close to each other.
Yeah. I know they're up there being cheeky with their signs together.
I know. Yeah. I know the signs that we get. But yeah, that the whole process of a funeral.
Do you remember the funeral?
Yeah, I do. It was just us, so our parents and our siblings, and we had the priest come.
Yeah.
So he said a few words, but he couldn't do the traditional because we're Orthodox.
Correct, same as us.
Yeah, we couldn't do the traditional because technically the baby
goes straight to heaven.
Yeah.
Which is like so nice.
Yeah.
Because they've never sinned.
And
they don't need a funeral.
No.
Because normally a funeral is because we're human and we sin.
That's right.
We need to be prayed on so we can go to heaven.
Correct.
But so our angels just went straight.
Yeah, that's right. They were born to
God.
To God.
Yeah.
So yeah, he came and said a few words, which was beautiful, and
it's comforting for the family and like you guys.
Yeah, it was, and so I remember that day, and I don't know. After that, I kind of went through a ride of emotions, and I kind of wish there was something like this while I was going through it, because I just didn't know anyone that this had happened to, and I didn't know where to get kind of resources, and there was, stuff that they give you in hospital,
but it's actually opening the envelope and doing it.
Yeah.
Like I think the first step of getting those types of like that type of help, those services.
Yeah.
It's actually the first step.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to anyone.
It's hard. You put it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think talking to family and
that helps.
And stuff.
Yeah. You lean on your partner.
So I never knew how many people have experienced something similar to what we're going through.
Me too.
And then I was pregnant when we caught up. We went out to dinner.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And you guys told us
what happened.
And I just remember leaving the dinner and thinking, like, obviously my heart was aching for you guys, but I was like, that's God's grace. Like the way you spoke about Stamatia and your face lit up when you spoke about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand how you were functioning.
Yeah.
And now I can understand how other people, when they see me,
they're
like, how the hell are you waking up? And it's the same thing. Like it's a weird strength that your baby gives you.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so
She made me stronger, and he made you stronger.
But like what?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a weird like what?
Yeah.
And you know, if you haven't gone through this, you probably never will understand.
Yeah, you won't.
You just
And you know what? We don't want anyone a part of this club.
yeah, 100%. Like
If by any
it's
chance
not a club you want to be a part of.
you end up in this club, we're here for you.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. And you know what? When you guys came over for dinner after Leon passed and we both were talking about our stories, when you guys left, me and Angela, like, it's a bond that no one can replace.
Yeah,
like
we thought the same. We're like, you know,
it was so healing.
As sad as you know the bond is, it's also like I'm also grateful that
that we have each other through this.
Yeah, and even that Ange and my partner can get along, and because boys don't, you know, they don't speak as much. Some do, some don't. Yeah, majority
majority tend to not speak as much as women.
Yeah.
Like we're both very much talkers.
Yeah, we are. We're very open. I'd say we're very open. Whereas I feel like our partners, like
they're more on the reserve side.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They are more on the reserve side. So it's nice in a way that they have
each other.
that, and we were able to all talk about that together.
Because you feel like an alien when you're going through it.
Oh, you feel yeah.
You're alienated. You think this is the first time that it's ever happened in the world.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about you, but I also felt like judged in a way.
100%.
It's weird, but I just felt like.
And I also, like, people that aren't in your life anymore.
Yeah.
When they find out, you're like, I don't want you to know anything about me.
I was like that. Yeah. I
but
feel like gossiping. Like I'm like, oh, God, like, you know, are people going to find out from this person? And, you know, and I just don't want them to know.
Because it's such a vulnerable thing that's happened to you.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. So like when we released the first podcast.
Yeah. You were nervous.
I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want people to know this.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, you know what?
Why do I think like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He's my son. I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Like this happens to not everyone. I'm saying like this happens to a lot of people.
A lot of people, yeah.
And why should I feel like I can't talk about it?
Yeah. I feel like it should be spoken about more. And, you know, I know like there's that stigma around it. But why?
Yeah, why?
Like why? We need to kind of break
us
that.
Women go through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just a perfect pregnancy is so much. And like the labor or like the C-section or whatever.
Yeah.
Delivering a baby and growing a baby, it's intense.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then when you add all this other cutsies on top.
Yeah. It's just a cocktail of a lot.
Yeah. So we've got to be kind to ourselves. Like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know, I'm 7 kilos heavier.
Same.
And I'm just like, I don't fit in my clothes anymore.
Yeah.
My body sags a bit more.
Yeah. I'm like, I just want my body back that I had in high school.
Yeah. Right?
How can I get that back?
We could eat like how much food?
Oh my God.
And we were fine.
Yeah. And I'm trying to like still eat the same amount, but it's not it's not working well with my body. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's not, it's not.
I think it's an ongoing healing process. I don't think we're ever going to, not that we're never going to heal, but I don't think we're ever going to forget.
Never.
Yeah.
No. But it's
a beautiful thing at the same time because we don't want to forget.
No, you don't want to forget. And it will help shape you to who you will become.
Do you reckon it changed you as a mum?
Yeah.
Like with Anthony?
Yeah. In ways I probably don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's ways that, you know, if it hadn't have happened, I feel like I'm probably a bit more protective of him now.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe a little bit more paranoid about
which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what it is to lose a child.
Yeah.
And then you've got your child there.
Yeah. And then it's like, you know, like
I want to protect you with everything.
Everything I've got, you know.
That makes so much sense though.
Yeah. And it definitely has. And I mean, it's probably made me more paranoid as well, but it is what it is.
But you're working through it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's my story.
That's Penelope's story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's something that we both have to go through. We've both had to go through.
And it's just crazy to think that we've both gone through that and like we have grown up together, and like how like I think about that and I'm like,
isn't it weird how God, like, I don't know, because he knows what's going to happen to us, right?
Yeah. But like we
were so close in high school. We both were born in April. We always used to talk about how similar we were.
Yeah, and then this happens to us in the same year.
Yes, in the same year. And our babies are born like right next, like close together.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yep. Like that. I'm like, what? They're both at Faulkner. They're both in the same row.
Yeah.
Like and we didn't even know that. That just happened by fate.
So I think, did I find out before the funeral? I think we messaged and I said he's going to be at Faulkner.
Yeah, and then I said where she was.
Yes, and then on the day of Leon's funeral, we had so many flowers, which we were very grateful for.
Yeah.
But there was one flowers that someone gave us, and they were beautiful and pink, and there was like pink and white roses, and it was a beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
And going there the whole time, I was like, I'm gonna find Stamatia, and I'm gonna put this down.
Thank you.
And then when I walked down, and I was going through how sad is it going through?
It's horrible.
And you see like some photos of like 7-year-olds and 8.
Yeah. I almost shut it out. I don't want to.
Yeah,
look.
it was so much.
Yeah.
But when I walked down Leon's aisle, and then I saw Stamatia, and I was like, no way.
Like the same aisle.
They're so close.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like I've been going to the cemetery, but at the same time I feel him always around me, so I don't feel like I need to go to the cemetery.
I'm the exact same. I go, but I feel like in a weird way, even though that was where she was laid to rest, I feel like she's not there.
Yes, I feel the same.
I feel her more with me.
Yes, me too.
I don't know if this sounds weird, like saying this, but I don't feel her as much there. I feel her more with me, or like it's odd. Yeah,
because that's her spirit, you know.
Yeah,
like that was her body. Yes, but I feel like we feel the spirits way more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
so.
But it's weird because like the first couple of weeks, it was like the only thing I could do as his parent is to like go and clean up the grave. And
which was what I was doing. I was bringing baby wipes and like cleaning the cross.
Okay, I thought I was weird.
No, I was doing the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was doing the same thing, and I just remember thinking, I'm like, I can't believe this is like I don't know if you ever felt like this. It shouldn't be like this. Like you shouldn't be going to a grave. Like she should be here. And then I have those moments where I'm like, what ifs, and now she would have been doing this, and who knows
what her age group would have been.
Yeah, yep.
So my friend gave birth 2 weeks before Leon.
Oh, okay.
And I saw her baby at church.
Yeah.
And I was already really emotional that day at church, and I said, can I look at her?
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I could not stop crying.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because I was crying like I wish I had a baby and you have a baby. Like it's not that.
It's not out of that. Yeah.
That's how big Leon would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just refer the size, and there's no baby that can take away from Leon. Like I see my friend, like when I saw Anthony, like he brings me so much joy. Like there's nothing like that, but it's when you see babies around the same age as what your baby would have been.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is hard, and I had a friend as well, like around the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know her as well.
Oh, okay.
I won't say
names.
No. But like, it was the same thing. We were a few weeks apart.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's hard. I struggled with the thought of like,
you would always think
age,
like
they would have been doing the same things.
Yeah. They go to school together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
I know the thoughts. Yeah.
You
kind of. When you're pregnant, you kind of like imagine, and I don't know if any other mums do this, but I imagined Leon's whole life.
Yeah.
Like I haven't imagined me dancing with him at his at his, well, I said funeral, but I meant to say wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signs.
But yeah, like I had like all these like images of what he was going to look like and stuff.
No, I had those.
I don't know if did I tell you that I had a dream before he died?
I don't think so.
I had a dream 2 or 3 weeks before he died, and it was in the dream he was like around 15 years old, 16, and he was in footy gear. Like he was in mini shorts and like a singlet top.
Yeah.
And he was running down the stairs and he was running out the door. And I said, Leon, come back and give your mum a kiss before you leave. Don't just leave the house like that.
Typical.
And then, and he runs back inside. He gives me a hug and a kiss and he's like, Mum, I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
Dad's waiting for me in the car. And I was like, he can wait. Like, I'm going to come out anyways and say goodbye to you guys. I walked outside. Ange is in the front seat.
Yeah.
Leon was going to footy camp.
Okay.
So he was ready to Ange was driving him to like a camping site and they were doing pre-season camp.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something that Ange has done before. Like he goes to pre-season camps and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like something that footy boys do.
Yeah.
So he sat in the front seat and he's smiling at me and he's like, Mum, we really got to go. And I was like, all right. And I said to Ange, sucked in. Like you got the kids now. I'm going to have like the house to myself. Me time. And I looked in the back seat. And there was a boy and a girl in the back seat and they looked younger than Leon, but they kind of looked very similar in age or maybe the boy was like a year older.
Right.
And I just remember like having such peace with that memory. Like that memory was such a good memory. And I woke up and I said to Ange, maybe we should have 3 babies. And he goes, what? Because I always said to Ange, I only want 2 kids.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a good amount, like financially, like we'd be able to give him a lot, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's what you wanted,
we both were happy with 2 kids.
Yeah.
But then when I woke up and because I was having such a good experience with my pregnancy, I was like, maybe I want 3. And then that was my dream and now I tend to like think of that dream and I'm like, maybe
I believe in
who
dreams.
knows? Yeah.
I kind of believe in dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if they turn out exact. Like
but maybe it's to give me hope. I don't know.
But I believe dreams have some sort of meaning.
Yeah.
Something.
I've held on to that dream because for me it's like I saw him older.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It could have just been my mind making it up.
No, I don't think so.
It's weird. I feel like when you're healing or when you're grieving, you kind of latch on to
everything and anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that too?
Yeah, 100%. I might see something and I'm like, oh, that was her.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But I someone else might think you've lost the plot, but I'm like, no, it was her.
It gives you peace.
Yeah.
So. I think she's with you.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
It's weird when I was saying a prayer at Stamatia's grave.
Yeah.
You messaged me
at that
same time and I was like,
that's weird.
This is weird.
Even I was like, what?
Yeah, weird.
That's like weird.
And I was just there because it was our last time visiting him before we go overseas.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't there for any reason.
No.
And then I was, because whenever I go there, I go there.
Yeah.
I can't not now.
No, I'm the same. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I haven't been in a while, but I have to go. Yeah.
But it's like you said, her spirit's always with you.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah, what a journey. It's not a journey I wish upon anyone.
No.
But if you've had this, then
we're here.
Yeah. And what you're doing is amazing.
Thanks.
Just being able to speak.
Hello, you're doing amazing too.
Yeah.
It's hard to be vulnerable.
It is. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about it as well. Like I find it difficult just to open up. It's easier to talk to people that have gone through it.
100%.
But talking about it to people that haven't, I'm just like, I wonder what they're thinking. I just constantly think a lot about like
what their perspective is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Yeah. I don't want them to feel sorry for me. I don't know what I want them to feel, but I just don't want them to feel sorry for me or the judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people don't judge, but like I feel like there are some people that might be like, oh.
No, I get it. But I think that's just our anxiety brain.
Yeah. Definitely would be.
We've got angels taking care of us, though.
I know, and I'm grateful for that. Not many people do, so at least we have that.
And I know this is horrible to say, but at least they're together.
Yeah, they are together. They've got each other like we did in high school.
Yeah, and how we do now.
100%. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story.
That's okay. Thanks for having me. That's all right. Thank you for having me.
If anyone else wants to be on, share their story. Yeah. It's empowering.
Yeah, it is.
True?
Yeah, it is. 100%. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.